in today's video, I'm gonna take you behind the scenes and show you what our home library looks like and how to organize all of our books. So if you're a homeschooling mom or family, then you know that books start to stack up. And you can see all of our stacks behind me right now. And so if you didn't watch my video of thrift book unboxing, I had over 100 new books to go through, organize, and then we have all the books that we currently have. And so when you have so many books, there needs to be a way to organize, or you've probably bought the same book more than once. I am totally guilty of that. So today I want to take you through my step-by-step system of making sure that your library is organized at home, share with you how I organize it with a few simple tools. One's an app, and one's just colored stickers. So let's get to organizing. And in case we haven't met, my name is Brandy Mouse. We are an eclectic homeschooling family with a 7-year-old, a 2-year-old, and then my husband and I both homeschool our kids, and we both love to read and we love literature. So literature is such a big part of our family, which means we have to know how to organize books. Now, one thing I do want to point out is we do like to utilize our library a lot. We also live in a community with lots of homeschoolers, so a lot of the times the books that we want to get from the library are just not available. So we do end up purchasing the books that we really want on our bookshelf, and I usually use things like thrift book or going to consignment shops, things like that, to grab a great deal on books. And we love our Kindle as well, but with the kids, we really try to stick to actual physical books. So let me show you exactly how I organize all of our books. The first thing that we have to have is a place to put them. And I'm gonna show you where our bookshelves are and take you through our shelves and all that. But then we have this little resource here, which actually shows us where all the books belong and what we're using them for. So on here, you'll see that we have a purple sticker for art, music, culinary, poetry. Yellow is read alouds in our chapter books. Blue is history. Orange is science. Green is geography. Pink is picture books. Like the reddish orange is biographies. Periwinkle is more seasonal. And then the bright red is for my teaching reference books. And so that's what we have so far. And then of course there is others category of things that just don't fit. But for the most part, everything fits in one of those categories. And so they get a sticker. So when these books come in, the first thing I'm gonna do is put them in piles. So if you're doing this for your home library, you don't have a system yet, this would probably be a good way to do it, is I take these categories and then I go put them in their stacks. From there, I'm gonna grab my stickers. I got this big pack of stickers. I'll make sure to link below. Off of Amazon, it's 1,400 stickers for $5 or something. So very cheap. We used to do washi tape, and the washi tape just does not work. It comes off, it's not good for long term. So when it comes to this, we found that these stickers are actually the best, and I like them because they don't go on the spine. We put these on the back so then the kids know where to put them back in their place. Okay, just to show you 3 books how we would do this, is one, as soon as they come in, I'm gonna put them in stacks. The second thing I'm gonna do is actually scan them on our book app. And I'm gonna take you through a full walkthrough of that and how the app works and how we do the categories. Okay, so now let's take a look at my favorite resource for managing our library, and that is my Book Buddy app. It's a free app. I know there's other ones out there. This one actually may have been a one-time fee to get everything that we had, but it was super cheap. And this is how we really manage the majority of our books and where I can see what we have. So what I would do is actually come in here and scan a book. I scan all the books, and then you'll see that we have 566 books, and they are all in here. So if I could look at it like this, and I could search. So if I said, give a mouse a cookie. So we have that one. It's right in here. So when I click it, I can see that I have a category of picture book. There's no tags on here. But if I go down to here, like A to Z Mysteries, this one, I can look that it's under my read alouds, which corresponds to our bookcase. So I know all the read alouds are on the top shelves across there. So I know I'm gonna find this one on the top shelf. But then if I'm putting together a unit study like our body study, I want to be able to find these books. So that's where tags come in. So you see I have the body tag here. That's going to make it really easy for me when I need to put together unit studies. I can go find those. Or in here, if I don't want to search by all books, I can go and I can also filter by tags. So let's do ancient. I could go here. And then all of our ancient books that I have tagged with the ancients are all going to show up here, making it super easy if you like to do unit studies or you're looking for certain books. So I do try to tag as many books as possible. And then I can also sort them by author, genre, series, when we read it, any of those things on here, the number of pages. You have so many options of how you can do this. You can also do category, which is where I usually sort mine from. And we can see right up here, it says early readers, and that's going to be all of them. Then we have history. They're going to be right here. So you can sort by category as well, or alphabetical order, however you want to do it. If you are someone who likes to loan out books, there is a loan out feature. We don't loan out a ton of books, but if you did, they do have that feature, which is really handy. You can also find all your tags here, and we have our categories here. These match up with exactly what I've showed you on that sheet and how we color code our books. So if I were to go to science, I can see all of our science books that we have here, or art and music, all of those are here. So there's multiple ways to sort. How I usually use this is my categories are where I find them on my bookshelf. So I come in here and I'm looking for like Christmas and Lagos. Okay, so I have that. I come down here and I see that it's seasonal. So it's not under geography, it's under seasonal. So I know that that's where I'm gonna find it on my bookshelf. So the categories really help me find where it is on our bookshelf. And then the tags help me plan for unit studies, or if we're on a topic that the kids are really interested in. So this one has tags of Africa and Christmas. So it makes it really easy when I'm pulling books for seasonal or anything where I can find exactly the books that I have that have those tags and then be able to put them into our rotation of what we have. The other thing is just being able to search my books before I go buy any. When we have over 500 books, this is a really, really easy way for me to make sure that I'm not buying the same book again. So this has been a huge help. Then now that we've scanned all the books in, now it's time to actually put their dots on them. So this goes pretty quickly because we've already decided what categories they're going in and whatever tags. So when I look at this, we have Shakespeare. So that'll be a purple dot. So this one will get a purple, and I'm just gonna stick it on the back. So I just stick it on the back there. It's really for us to reference and for the kids to reference when they go put the book back. And then this is where they get a little tricky. So we have the chapter book, The Search for the Missing Bones, which could go in our body study, which could be science. And then we have the School of Skeleton. It's the same thing. It's a chapter book, but it's also skeleton. So this is one of those places where you get to decide what makes the most sense for you and your family. I'm actually gonna put these in the read aloud, and here's why. Because in the app I showed you, where I'm gonna tag these with human body. So what that means is I'll be able to pull them up when we get to human body, but also I want them available just in case my daughter wants to grab a read aloud, or if we continue to build on this series, I want them all in one place. So that's where you get to make the decision and where the app comes in handy because you can search and use tags in order to organize your library really effectively. Okay, so now that you've watched me go and organize all these, it's time to actually put them on our shelf. So this is in our basement, and you'll just see that we come right down here from the homeschool room. It's near it. But here is our cases. These are just from IKEA. So we got all of these from IKEA, and they were easy to put together. I love the glass. So let me show you how we have this organized. First, we have this side over here. When we pull open this side, this is really our science, which one thing about science books is they're always so big. So we have all of our science reference books. We have our rainforest study that I did. I know a lot of you have been asking to see my rainforest study. It's coming. And then we have the big books that are a little bit too big to actually sit up. So they go here. And then we have some of our read alouds up there. Now, most of the read alouds up there are gonna be ones that are for Riley's school year this year. So my one going into second grade, those are most of her read alouds for this year. So that's why they're over there. Then we move over to this next section, the middle section. So when we come in here, we have lots of books in this one. And you'll see this bottom shelf, this is actually picture books mostly. And so we have some of our family's favorite picture books right here. And then we have the ones that are too tall sitting on them side. And then this shelf gets into art studies and composers. So this is artists and art studies. And then you'll see there's board books, picture books, all that here. And that's where it kind of like make up your mind. But if we have a picture book about Van Gogh, I'm gonna put it with the art and artist. And then over here we have like our actual art. So like we have clay work, collage, watercolor, and then we also get into our poetry and we have like drawing and stuff like that. So this is actual art. This is composers and artists. I have a feeling after this year, this whole one will be full. And then we come up here. These are actually all the picture books for my 2-year-old Bodhi, what we're doing with him with year 1 of Blossom and Root. If you want to see more of like how we're setting that up, the day-to-day with him, just let me know and I can make a video on that. But this is all his books for the entire year. Now, once we're done with these will probably move into our rotation of our monthly books that we do for the kids in their room. And so for right now, we have all the picture books up here that go with his. Now we do have some that are not just picture books. We also have some up here is like poetry, our Scottish folklore. These are ones that we like to just pull out because they are part of folklore or fairy tales. And so we also have these up. And then a few of these are part of Riley's for Blossom and Root year 2. Then when we get up to the very top, those are more series, read alouds, chapter books. So we have the Magic Tree House, which we'll be doing this year. We have the Narnia series, the Little House in the Woods series, and then we have all of those. A lot of those are ones that we did this year for read alouds. So that's where they all are living. Then we go right next door, and this one is our history. So a lot of our history is actually over there. So a lot of our history is actually in the schoolroom because I do put any books that we're using over there and then I'll rotate them over here when we're not using them. So this is mostly books that we're not currently using. And so like a lot of those books for term 1 will get moved over there and things like that. I rotate them in and out. So we have our 50 states books. We have our geography. So this whole shelf is geography. And then down here's our easy readers. So my daughter can come over here and just grab these. That's why they're here, because they're easy for her to grab. And so we have our early readers here. And then we have our history here. So there's a lot of prehistory over here, and then ancients, and then we have the rest of our ancients over there. And then up at the top over there, we have our biographies. So we love the Little People and the Who Was series. So who is Harriet Beecher Stowe? And then we have some other series. So this is our Halloween series that we have up there. And then we have one more place to show you. So then down here, this is down below our science and everything. So down there on those 2 shelves, that's all of our seasonal books. So that's where I put our Halloween books. That's where I put our Christmas books, our Thanksgiving books. Those are all sorted down there because I really don't want the kids to get them. I want them to be special when it's that time of year. So we keep all the seasonal ones down there, and they actually don't get in these cabinets, at least not that one. They do get in this next one. So this one was our main one with our arts and all that kind of stuff. And then underneath, you'll see we have all the board books. On the bottom shelf is all the board books. That way my 2-year-old can get to them. And then we have more picture books up here. So really the board books are all along there. Some picture books that wouldn't fit up here, or they're ones that like, I don't really love the kids to read. It's fine. Books are books. But like all the Frozen stuff and all that stuff, I rather them read some of the other ones. So that's why I try to put those up here where they can see. But if they want to grab books, they know which shelves they can get into. So we have board books and then those. So that's really what our home library looks like. And then the kids each have their own books in their room that I rotate every single month. If you want to see how I do the rotation, let me know. But they love doing that. And so we rotate those books. And then my husband and I have our bookshelves. We have them in our bedroom with our like books that we both read. And then in my office is where like all the personal development books and business books are. So our house is full of books. We love it that way. And I hope this video helped inspire you to get your books organized or set up a home library. You don't need this much space. You can do this system with just one bookshelf, but being organized definitely helps with not overbuying. Also knowing where your books are, able to rotate those books that you had forgot about, but then also having the app to help organize is the biggest lifesaver ever. So let me know your book organizing tips in the comments below and let me know if there's a deeper look at anything else you'd love to see.